This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning. It's November 7th, 2024. And before we begin the morning meeting, I want to hope you all had a lovely evening yesterday. Hope you woke up well and ready for the day, getting ready to trade. But before we begin, we must provide a disclaimer that the following information provided is not investment advice. Our methods, teachings, and content are for educational purposes only. All materials and lessons are protected assets of Market Making Strategies, LLC. Any plagiarism or sharing of our content is strictly prohibited, and any violators are subject to applicable laws. With that being said, let's get into it. And I have been scanning around all morning, and today definitely we do not have as much going on. So the first one obviously would be BNZI. Cheap stock, as we can see, started off lots of volume, went from 220 to 380. But what was going on? The biggest problem that we see in this one, first off, as I've watched it all the way from 380, is it didn't have any controlling prints. The type of prints that have come in, though, have certainly been big building prints. All the way down from 360 on has been beautiful spurts of buying. As you can see, similar to what we see here, there's 289, the 295, the 97s. I mean, these are all clear 3 to 4 print personality. Now, yes, we have a few mixed prints, but here's the problem. When you've got large building prints, as you have here, and your volume is coming off this much, one, it breaks a lot of key levels because there's no volume. That means the interest level is falling off quite large. And we can see why, because they have took the path or the strategy of building downwards. So as the volume's coming down, they're taking what's available in shares on the way down. Now, this 260 level is definitely a important level. One we can see here right in the beginning, and then we can see all the way that it's holding above 260. So with all the acquiring and building that we know has happened here, with let's say a conservative price target, which by the way, yes, it's been building, but we have not seen controlling. What does that mean in this form of strategy? That means that for now, we would need to see controlling, or this could only exist as short-term prints with high volume. But the type of prints we're seeing are not short-term go now prints, they are build prints. So when it comes to build prints, not only with the volume, we do want to see some control. If they put some prints at 3 and held it above 260 and built within this range, that would give me far more confidence that there's a possibility in the open. But we do know there's loads of building. We do know it has 9.7 million shares traded. We do know it's got range. So this will certainly be our first one on the list. What I will tell you is this. If that volume that comes in the open starts going to the downside and you're breaking 260 on sell, there's a good chance this will just kind of fade out rather quick. So be mindful about the time that you spend in the open on stocks that already have a low percentage probability. So keep that in mind. But I would say I would love to have just seen some 3 ask, seen continuation of build here. I don't care that it's low volume. And towards the open, start seeing that volume really start coming in, start showing that it wants to start moving among and for those 3 and all the build that we have had all the way here. It's been lots of beautiful build, but having controlling prints at 3, having lots of great volume, and short-term prints would be what we would need to see in open for this to get going, to give us the possibility, because you can see 380 is your high, but that building started from 360 down. 4 would be a very conservative target, but that would be your first target. Remember, this is in 20-cent increments also. See if that changes when the market opens. So BNZI will be the number 1. Now, I have looked and looked, and I'm just not seeing much. I was watching Sin. It's just heavy volume, doing nothing, sideways, mixed prints. The only thing, again, is that we would need to see someone take control of this, someone to use the volume, and it would need a lot more volume to move. I mean, we can see this bar here was 2.4 million and then nothing. It's just dropped off to extremely small volume afterwards. So we would need to see the volume really start picking up here in the open or towards the open, showing clarity in substance and showing that it wants to start trading. Now we got 550. This is already 50-cent increments, which I really, really like in cheap stocks, because in cheap stocks, depending on what you see, even short-term prints can get you there. You got a 50-cent move, and it usually equates to $1. So I do like what the possibilities could be, but it would need a lot of volume, a lot of clarity, and the last thing you want to see is huge prints being built at 550 and 6, because that's going to probably keep it in a funnel more than release it out of the funnel and into money time and the ability for us to trade. So this is the number 2, but it's got such a low possibility to do anything. Thirdly, SMCI. Now, SMCI, we had a lovely trade into the close yesterday, and we also had massive, ridiculous, huge 23 ask towards the end. Now, for it to simply start trading above 23 when those prints were so huge and required build to a high percentage would be surprising. Not that it couldn't be done. At the end of the day, if 23 was what they wanted and they don't need to build upon that, and they've done some building here, as we can see, in 22.30. Haven't seen much more than that, 26. But remember, look at 29. Look at 25. It's a bit mixed. People are taking some profits. 26 here. 10s, 13s. This is people taking profit. So again, we know we got money at 23, enough for a conservative 25. But again, it needs to show that today it wants to trade. We need to see the correct volume. We need to see short-term prints. Remember, we've got massive prints at 23 and below. What is more likely to happen in a situation like this if we do not see that it wants to go today? You could see this easily, get some volume, come all the way here to a double top of 23.50, use that as the peak of the morning move or the morning bar, and then build on that 23 from yesterday and see it trade down and just keep building down, and that volume would wane off. That seems a high possibility. But on the other hand, if the volume came in and it showed clear substance of to go now prints, lack of sell, and continuation, then 23 has already acquired what it needed to. So those are your 3 for today that I have. Unfortunately, I personally didn't see anything more. If anyone has any other stocks, could you please tell me? Okay, I see that, Sid. Sorry, there were 3 ask prints in BNZ I845. Okay, that's good news. So let's add that. Thank you, Sid. Appreciate that. I did miss that. Anyone else have anything else that they saw that they would like me to go over, please? Because that, unfortunately, is all I saw this morning. I wish I saw some more, but we know how the mornings go. Some days you have a few stocks, some days you have a lot of stocks. And this year has certainly proved to all of us that we've had plenty of mornings without opportunities, but the market is still to open. We know that once the volume comes in, new stories, new situations will occur. We just have to remain patient. They don't always show themselves in pre-market. So real quick, is any questions from anyone? It doesn't have to only be about the stocks we spoke about, but if you have any questions possibly about a stock or print from yesterday that you'd like me to explain or anything, please, you've got a couple more minutes, let me know. Okay, doesn't seem we have any questions. So let's get ready for the open. Be patient, plan your trades, have your options, the high percentage option and what that looks like, and what the opposite looks like. Always know what both options look like. It will make your trading more seamless and easier to follow. With that being said, you all have a lovely morning.